this section over here, this link, is the editor for the various themes that you have on the back end of your website. You can toggle which theme you want to look at the code for, but this section I would be very careful visiting, because if you uncheck or if you delete any of the information in this section, and then if you accidentally update the file, you might cause some issues. And if you're not really familiar with PHP or CSS or HTML, things of that nature, or JavaScript, then you probably shouldn't really play around in this section. I actually, from my site, I deactivate this section because it's too tempting to go in here and try to do a quick fix. The best way to do that, if you're going to actually mess around with code, is to do it on your local environment on your computer, so you can test out the code to make sure that it's not going to break anything on your site. So for the most part, you want to leave the editor alone. Below that, you have the plugins. You click on that link and it'll show you all the active plugins you have on your website. And if you want to add a new plugin, you could just do that by clicking that link, and then you can see what plugins are featured. You can search for plugins, things of that nature. And again, they also have an editor for that, so you can take a look at the underlying code for that specific plugin file. This is the users link, so click on that and it shows you all the active users on your website. There are several user roles. There's the administrator, which is typically the owner of the website. Then there's the editor, which is a powerful user role, is right under the admin user role. Then you have the author role, you have the contributor role, and then you have the subscriber role. And then some third-party plugins might introduce different user roles as well. So that's the users, and you can check out your profile in that section as well, and you can change some of the information. Some themes or plugins might add additional fields in here, so you're going to want to check that out whenever you install maybe an SEO plugin or some other type of plugin that might add additional functionality. This tools link over here is you might not use this too often. It is just a way to if you read the description over here, press this is a little tool that lets you grab bits of the web and create new posts with ease. It's not widely used. Some people do use it, but it's not really widely used. But you could check that out, see if that's something you would benefit from. If you want to import your content from another platform or another WordPress site that you have, you can do that with the import link, and it shows you what different platforms you can import from. If you want to export your content, you can do that here as well. You can choose to download all your content or just the posts and pages, and then click the download link and it'll generate an XML file. The settings link over here is your general settings overall, in this site title, your tagline. If you go over some of this stuff, you can see what specifically it does. You don't want to change this from what it's normally set up unless you have a very specific reason to do that. And then you have the writing section. If you want to have a default category and you have your category set up, you can toggle that on. And then if you want to choose a standard post format, you can choose one of those. Your reading section is you can choose to have a static front page or a blog style website where the main page of your site features your latest posts. I typically recommend checking this to summary, especially for your blog pages, because you want to have, let's say, 10 posts show up on either your front page or your page dedicated to show your most recent post. So if you put the full text, then it's going to be extremely long with 10 posts showing full text for each of those posts. So typically I just recommend clicking on summary, and that will give you an excerpt of the post, and then it'll show you the next post and things of that nature. Person wants to read the full post, they just click on the read more link or the actual title of that particular post. This I have it checked to discourage search engines because this is my local host environment, but on your production live site you're going to want to make sure that this is not checked. So if you made any changes like I did, you just save the changes and then that's done. For the discussion, you can choose any of the features here. These pretty much just give the parameters if you want to notify any of the blogs, link to from an article within your site if you want to allow ping backs or trackbacks. We'll go over those in particular in the later tutorial. If you want to allow people to comment on your new articles, how long do you want to keep the commenting open for, and what the moderation rules are for your site. Should they be manually approved? Should they not? I tend to recommend comments must be manually approved initially because that will prevent a lot of spam from just popping up on your comment section by default. I mean, you're still going to get notifications of comment spam, but at least they won't be popping up on the front end of your site. So if you make any changes, you could just click on that.